Happy Sunday Fun Day, everybody. If you're happy and you know it, type what the Hales. Right over there, right in the chat. Go ahead, in the chat. If you're happy and you know it, type what the Hales. If you're happy and you know it, then the chat will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, type what the Hales. Happy and you know it, type what the Hales. If you're happy and you know it, type what the Hales. If you're happy and you know it, then the chat will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, type what the Hales. All right, let's do it. Let's do it like fishies again tonight, just because that one's so fun. It goes with the whole theme here. Ready? Like fishies, you guys gotta do it too. Top with the Hales. Nice job, guys. All right, we got a big night tonight. A lot of things to discuss, a lot of things to go through. You've got questions, and the good news is I've got answers. Okay, so housekeeping things here first tonight, okay? Chat is flying like crazy. Thank you so much, guys, for all the love here tonight. So first things first here tonight, we got some housekeeping things that we got to get to. Then we're going to get into everything else that we typically get into. So if you're new here to What the Hales on YouTube, make sure, number one, you subscribe. You can almost always find a button right over there, right down there. And it's free. It's 100% free. So you can subscribe on any video. You can subscribe on this video. Wherever there is a subscribe button, you can subscribe. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it. Wham! I found the fist. Who was that gave that? Let me find out. It was Bugs Adventures. What the Hales? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. So you want to, if you are not yet subscribed to What the Hales here on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed, and that'll help us get to our 500,000 time to grill. We are creeping up. We are about 19,500 away from 500,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome, to say the least. Okay. And we are not only on YouTube here tonight, we're actually on Facebook as well. So if you have not followed on Facebook, you want to jump over on What the Hales Facebook page, and you want to make sure you follow as well. So if you're watching right now on Facebook, jump over to YouTube, subscribe. If you are on YouTube, jump over to Facebook and make sure you follow Carolyn. Bam! Thank you so much. Appreciate it. There's your fist pump tonight. Now, George has the link if she feels up to joining tonight, but the reality is she's probably not going to feel up to it. So if you've got a special something that you want to share with George, feel free. Don't worry. Don't worry. She is watching. Undoubtedly, she is there. She's watching. She loves the chat. She loves hearing from you guys. You guys are family, so you guys can send that all into the actual chat for her tonight. And if she feels up to it, she'll jump in, and if she doesn't, no big deal. She won't. Okay? All right. BC Eagle Deb, $5. Love Jeremy and George. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Bam! Maryland Raby sucks dried gravy. Looking healthy today, Jeremy. Bam! Okay, we got Olivia. Proud of your decision. Praying for George. Thank you so much. Okay. Somebody said looking healthy. All right. Let me ask the question. Let's play a little game. How much weight have I lost? Okay, let's play a little game. How much weight have I lost in just over a hair over 2 weeks. Let's see all of the guesses. Let's see your guesses in the chat. How much weight have I lost? Okay, I see 15 pounds. All right, we're going to play higher or lower, okay? I see 27 pounds, lower than that. 27 pounds, lower than that. I saw 15 pounds, higher than that. I saw 40 pounds, lower than that, although that's what needs to ultimately come off. 25 pounds, lower than 25. I just saw 18, higher than 18. Higher, 23, lower than 23. 17, we already said it's higher than 18. 19, it's higher than 19. I saw 19. 21, it's lower, it's higher than 19, and it's lower than 21. And the correct answer is 20 pounds. 20 pounds. So not only am I going to write a book on how to win an Egyptian's heart in just 3 days or dates, but I'm also going to write a book on how to lose 20 pounds in just 2 weeks. And Ruth, thank you so much for the super chat. I see other super chats flowing in here as well. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Okay. As you guys subscribe, don't forget to click on all the notifications. Nettie, thank you for the super chat. It's going so fast. Oh, great. Nettie said, George, I had my thyroid surgery and it went okay. I'm just very bruised. Praying for you both. Thank you so much, Nettie. I know you've been wanting George to pray for you and even requesting to talk to George, but George isn't available for that right now. Adam, thank you so much for the $5, but we're always available to pray for you guys. So as you subscribe, as you follow, make sure you're hitting your all notification bell here on YouTube as well, because you have options and you have to, especially if you're on an Apple product, you have to allow that Apple product to allow notifications. Now tonight, Debbie, thank you so much for the $10. George, please know we all miss you so much. We only want you to get better. Lots of prayers for you, George and Jeremy. You two make life so much better for many of us. Hugs with lots and lots of prayers. Thank you so much, Debbie. Life is always better when you share it with your best friend. Cindy, thank you for the $3 as well. All right, so tonight, we're starting a little something new here tonight. As far as the chat, if you are not subscribed, Amazon Island Girl, thank you for the $5. If you're not subscribed to What the Hales, you will not be able to actually leave a comment in the chat. So for somebody to actually leave a comment in the chat on YouTube, I know we're on YouTube and Facebook. Maria, thank you for the $5. You must be subscribed to actually participate in the live chat. And again, remember, subscribing is completely and totally free. Kathy, thank you for the $5. Oh, nice. It's a boy. And Matt sent $2 as well. That's exciting. So remember, if you want to participate in the chat tonight, this is the first time we've ever done this. You must subscribe to actually participate in the chat. Okay. And we're going to continue on that way as well. You must be a subscriber to What the Hales to actually chat on the live stream. Allison, thank you for the $4.99. Okay. Some YouTube problems that I want to let you guys all be aware of and let you know about, okay? So number one, we've got a major problem with our merch shelf. And we've been getting comment and message. How do I get your merch? Where can I get your merch? Where's the merch? Where's the merch? Where's the merch? Our merch shelf is all through a third party. It's under every single video, except right now it doesn't exist. And the reason why it doesn't exist is because that third party is trying to communicate with YouTube. And what's happened is there's multiple accounts now created on that third party platform. Angels, thank you so much for the $5, and Kevin as well. And so that third party platform doesn't know what to link to YouTube. So it's trying to figure it out like this instead of just being like this. And so they're working through that process. And we'll see if we can get that process to where all of that merch can get back up. George has been working on that quite a bit, trying to get that all fixed. So we appreciate everybody who wants to wear some of the What the Hale swag or Maryland Rabies Sucks Dry Gravy swag. But currently, we are not in a position where our merch is actually on the videos. Once that's fixed, then you guys can go crazy with the merch. So appreciate all of those that actually want the merch and want to wear the merch and represent the merch. We just have a little bit of a breakdown between the two websites trying to communicate with one another. Caroline, thank you for the $4.99. Appreciate it. Anita, thank you for the $4.99 as well. Thank you so much. All right. Other issue that we're having, Todd, thank you for the $2, is not only is the merch shelf down, but we've been having massive amounts of issues with people not being able to communicate in the chat. Okay. And so you can see the chat right now. As far as what I can see, there are, and by the way, we are going to talk very, very heavily about court. There are over 6,000 people right now currently watching between YouTube and Facebook. And I promise you, we will get in-depth, deep into the court decision and the decision moving forward. But there's been a massive issue of people not being able to communicate in the chat, or they can communicate, but then some communication doesn't exist in the chat. And it's been a frustration for multiple people who love What the Hales. Michelle, thank you for the prayers and the $10. Appreciate it. Christine, appreciate the $4.99 as well. And so I've been working with YouTube trying to figure out what the issue is. And as of right now, you would think that YouTube, a huge multi-billion-dollar business, would understand, okay, there's a breakdown in your programming and things aren't going well. Well, here's what they've had me do so far. And moderators, pay special attention to this because I really need you tonight. So YouTube has had me go in, and if somebody says that something inappropriate, if somebody says, the reality is YouTube uses what's called ghost blocking. If you say something inappropriate, if you're negative, you get blocked from the channel. And then YouTube, in the YouTube world, that means you can't comment on anything. Well, what YouTube had me do is go in and clear out, and we're talking thousands, tens of thousands of people, tens and tens of thousands of people. They told me to go clear out everything. They made me clear all caches. They made me clear out the block list. They made me clear everything. They made me get on multiple search engines and to try and fix it so that everybody can actually chat. And it has done nothing. To my knowledge, it's done nothing. So moderators, this is extremely important. I really need you to be on high alert because I cannot read everything tonight, especially with everything else. So I need you to be on high alert because tens of thousands of people have actually been unblocked from the channel, but we don't know what that really means. Honestly, we don't have any idea what that means because YouTube can't even figure out the issue. Why can't people chat when they're subscribed and they're, and there's a breakdown in communication and the whole deal? So they're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out. And none of us have figured it out yet. And one of the other things that we're attempting here tonight is only subscribers can chat in the chat to see if that helps as well. And we're going to continue on with that as well. So YouTube problems, merch shelf, still working on it. We'll see if we can get it going anytime soon. And then the other problem is communicating in the actual live chat. And we're trying to get that worked out. YouTube doesn't know what's going on with it yet. Okay. So appreciate everything you guys do, moderators, and I know that probably puts even more hard work on you, but thank you so much for all that you guys do in keeping the channel clean, keeping the channel positive, and keeping the channel moving forward. Thank you so much. So heads up, there could be a lot of craziness and there could be a lot of nothing. All right, one more housekeeping thing, and then we'll get to mail. So a lot of you have messaged, and a lot of you have said, Jeremy, last week you told us you were gonna share with us your new song for George, and then you didn't. And apparently that upset quite a few people. So here's what I'm doing, okay? All I'm gonna do, what I'll do tonight, I don't even remember what I said last week, but you guys definitely remembered it. and called me out on it. And then some of you heard me singing some of it on another channel, and then requested more. So here's what I'm going to do for you tonight, just because you guys have called me out on it. This is a Jeremy original for George. George has inspired me to. George is just one of those people that when I met her, I couldn't stop writing songs about her. So there's just inspiration that comes with a love like that. And so I'm just going to share the chorus with you guys tonight, because the actual verses are specific to me and George. And so, just like we've said in the past, we share some things, we don't share all things. But you guys called me out on it, so here we go. This is just the chorus, okay? Here we go. With your love so sweet, oh, I am incomplete without my best friend by my side. Just your smile alone makes me feel at home, forever a love that we can't hide. Till death do us part, you will own my heart as I hold you close to me. Secure in my arms, safe from all harm, forever George and Jeremy. All right, I kept my promise to you. One more time, just the chorus, okay? No verses. The verses are only for George, but here's the chorus. You love so sweet, oh, I am incomplete without my best friend by my side. Just your smile alone makes me feel at home, forever a love that we can hide. Come on, sing with me. Till death do us part, you will own my heart as I hold you close to me. Secure in my arms, safe from all harms, forever George and Jeremy. Secure in my arms, safe from all harms, forever George and Jeremy. Oh, that was the wrong one. There you go. I have kept my promise to you. Now, come on, guys. I know you guys love George. There's no doubt you love George. And you guys know that I love George as well. And I think that's one of the things you guys you comment over and over and over and over and over again, that you wish you had what we have. You wish you had you were able to live your best life with your own Jeremy, or you wish you were able to live your best life with your own George. And I want you guys to understand, George is more than just somebody that I love. You've heard me call her babe like a million times in videos. She's my sweet fart. She's my soulmate. She's my best friend. She's my habibi. She's my confidant. She's my farta of Walmarta. She's my sounding board when I'm confused. She's my comfort when I'm hurt. She truly is my other half, even though she's only half my size. She's the salt to my pepper, because let's face it, I'm the dark one. She literally is my life. And I know you guys love her dearly as well. I want to encourage you, continue to pray for her. And I'll continue to pray for her as well with you. We appreciate all your prayers. And again, she's watching. You guys can just leave her a message that you're praying for her. Okay. All right. Mail. Let's transition into the mail song, except there's just a little bit of an issue. Minor issue. I have not left the house this week to actually go get mail. So, our mail song is literally just a song. We got no mail because I haven't left the house. So, I promise we'll get the mail next week. I'll have Christian and Patience pick that up and we'll get the mail. We appreciate everybody who sends us so much. All the love, all the support that you guys send in. Truly, truly appreciate it. So I don't want you guys to feel like, oh man, he's completely and totally neglecting the mail that we send him. We will get it. There's just higher priorities right now. And so that's one of the things I want to talk to you guys about tonight within the court decision and the judgment, and then my decision as far as going forward. So I'm curious from you guys, to hear from you guys. Tim Alexander, thank you so much for the $9.99. Thank you for the prayers. I'm curious to hear from you guys. What did you think? And boy, my goodness, what a controversy in regards to my decision. I have read some of the most nastiest and some of the most encouraging things in regards to comments on YouTube in regards to the decision of what's happening. So let's try and dig into that tonight. And this is going to be the final court update. Colin, thank you for the $100. Wait, I got to read all of that. Hold a second. Colin, that song followed my journey to do the us part. It was so cathedral. No, thank you, Colin. The us is, it's us. That's the best way to explain it. It's us. Todd, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much, guys. All right. We're gonna get into the court decision. I know you guys have so many questions in regards to the decision. Some of you think, it's the craziest thing I have ever did. Some of you think, man, that was the dumbest thing you ever did. So let's get into first of all, let's backtrack a little bit and get up to speed as far as what has happened the past 2 years with Marilyn Raby and what that has meant the past 2 years. Bugs Adventures, thank you so much. So as you are probably all aware, number one, Marilyn was the owner of the property where the warehouse is that I leased. And that space was storage space for storage units. Thank you, Wendy, for the $2. Now, what happened is Marilyn was in a partnership with Brian, and Marilyn no longer wanted to be in a partnership with Brian, and Marilyn tried to dissolve that partnership the inappropriate way. And so when you're in a legal partnership, you can't just go, oh, I'm out of a partnership. That's like working for somebody and going, oh, I want more money. I'm just going to steal money. And it's illegal. It's illegal. It's completely and totally illegal. You can't do these things. You can't go, oh, and it is. That's what it is. It's theft of money. So what she did is went, I want all the money. I'm not in a partnership anymore. It was theft of money from Brian, her legal partner. And so what she did is she got myself and other tenants involved into this illegal mess. And on multiple occasions, she came to me and discussed my tenancy, and she discussed it around George and around other employees and around other people. So that being said, obviously it was a major issue. So then the threats started. One of the things she told me I had to leave. I told her that I had a legal lease and that that's not the way that the world works. And I think one of the biggest issues for Marilyn is she has no idea what the laws are, which is the same thing. A lot of people work for a lot of people and they go, well, it should be this way and it should be that. And my employer should do this. No concept of what laws are. Your employer probably knows more what the laws are because they have to adhere to them. That's not every employer, but she had no idea what the landlord and tenant laws were whatsoever. She went, really, this is just my opinion, but in her mind is, I own this building. I can do whatever I want. And that is not the way the world works. And so She told me I had to remove myself from the building, and obviously that was not going to happen on my part without it being legal. So then she hired a lawyer, and he told me I needed to remove myself. And just because a lawyer sends you a piece of paper, again, that doesn't mean anything. Judges or juries determine things in court. So a lawyer can send a piece of paper for anything. Now, a lot of times those lawyers are going to send papers and say, if you don't do A, B, and C, D is going to happen. So, and then they follow up with it. And that's what happened. I waited until it went to court. Nicole, thank you for the $10. And it did not go to court in a fast way at all. I mean, it had to be one of the slowest processes ever getting into court. And so through that entire process, let's see, we were locked out of the warehouse one time. No, more than that. 2 times. No, more than that. 3 times illegally locked out of the warehouse. Utilities were shut off. Electric, water, the list goes on and on. Threatened, assaulted by family members. I mean, the list goes on and on. So remember, in court, while I was in court, which was extremely stressful, and I know so many of you guys said, why is George not with you? Why is George, you left all the comments. Why was George not with you? Why was George not with? George wasn't with me because she had like 3 or 4 different doctor's appointments that day. And so George's health is a priority over court. But yeah, I mean, it's extremely stressful to do that without the greatest support in your life, right? I mean, I think you guys all agree. One of the things that I think of, you guys, I think most of you guys know I have a Bible degree. In the book of Nehemiah tells us when he goes before the king, and it's so interesting because in the Bible, when we get the narrative of the Bible, Nehemiah goes before the king, and the Bible tells us, and the queen was sitting beside him. And I think that phrase there, the queen was sitting beside him, is one of the most important phrases in that entire verse, in that passage. Number one, God did not create man to be alone, right? God went through creation. I understand some of you may not believe in God, but this is what the Hales, and so you get to hear my thoughts and my beliefs. So God goes through the creation, and all of a sudden man is alone, and he goes, all right, just wait. And then he creates Eve of Adam. And then he says it's good, because God didn't create us to be alone. And he didn't create man to not be alone. He didn't create woman to not be alone. He created man and woman not to be alone, because he knew he's the creator. He knows how it works best. And therefore he created man and woman to be together as one. And so the creator knew what he was doing. And here's the thing in that part of that passage that really strikes me is in Nehemiah. I don't know about the guys all out there watching right now, but when your queen is sitting beside you, you know, us guys are pretty rough around the edges. I mean, we can talk the good talk. We're rough around the edges. But when your queen is sitting beside you, those edges smooth out so easy. Because when your queen is actually sitting beside you, you're not thinking about anything but your queen. And whether it's you want to impress your queen, or whether it's you want whatever it is, when your queen is sitting beside you, everything seems okay, right? And so here I am in court in a stressful situation. I know a lot of you asked why. My queen couldn't be there with me because my queen was actually having health issues. And make sure you hone in on that, because a lot of your questions are based. I mean, the answers are based on that. And so it was a stressful situation to go into court. And the entire time thinking, I mean, it is very, 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 very clear, the agreement in the order and decree by the judge, key had to be returned, water had to be on, electric had to be on, then I vacate. There's nothing in between. That doesn't matter what I did the day before I vacated. It doesn't matter what I did 2 days before I vacated. It doesn't matter what I did the day after I vacated. I just had to vacate by that day. That's what the agreement was. She didn't fulfill her part of the agreement. Therefore, contract's null and void. The judge rules. that I am not in contempt of court. I didn't think I was going to be in contempt of court going into the courthouse. After being in the courthouse, I just wasn't so sure. I wasn't so certain because I was told that the judge rolled his eyes at me and all of my answers were focused on the agreement. And so asking silly questions of, I just brought everything back to the agreement. And I was getting in trouble for not answering the question with the actual answer. I just circled it right back to the agreement. And that wasn't looked upon very favorably. And so exiting, I thought, oh boy, here we go. And the judge did decree that I am not in contempt of court, but the judge also decreed, I'm not in contempt of court. Some of you have already read it online. The judge decreed I'm not in contempt of court based on water wasn't turned on. The shocker is that the judge decreed that Maryland's not in contempt of court as well, because we had put in the stipulations it had to be as soon as possible. Now, in the wording, the agreement for as soon as possible was for me to actually readily be able to vacate the property by June 7th. Obviously, that didn't happen. The water wasn't even turned on until June 15th. So the judge, I believe, and again, this is my opinion, the judge gave a tremendous amount of leeway to Maryland because the intent of as soon as possible was so that I could actually vacate the property. So much leeway in the fact that when you call the water company schedules the appointment with you on the phone. And Maryland went up on stand and she stated, I didn't know. Of course she knew. She called the water company. The water company doesn't just show up. It's a scheduled appointment, just like her doctor's appointments, just like her work schedule. It's a scheduled appointment. So I do believe that the judge was extremely lenient in the aspect that not finding her in contempt of court, because she did not, in my opinion, and it is only my opinion, have the water turned on as soon as possible under the actual intent of the phrase as soon as possible. The intent of the phrase is by June 7th so that I could vacate. And obviously it was scheduled by the water company. So neither myself nor Maryland were found in contempt of court. So you've got that. And the shocker for you all was that I have dismissed all claims against Maryland in the September 13th hearing. And so there are a lot of assumptions and a lot of misassumptions in regards to the comments that I've seen on the videos. And so what I want to do tonight is I want to dig into those things with you. Okay. So let's dig into some of those things, because I think there's a lot of questions that you have and there's a lot of answers that I didn't give in regards to that. So assumption number one that I've seen in the comments, assumption number one by the viewers is I dismissed the claims I have. Now, let me back up a little bit. September 13th is my jury trial. Okay. Or September 13th was the jury trial. And the jury trial, a lot of people misunderstand thinking that Maryland has claims against me. Maryland has absolutely no claims against me in the jury trial. None whatsoever. All claims were dropped because she gave all rent to Brian, her partner, as she and he actually negotiated and finalized things in court during a pre-hearing. Everything in that jury trial was me claims I have against Maryland for loss of income. It was for theft of property. It was for damages. It was for, and it can go on and on and on. Okay. So assumption number one that I've seen in the comments, and I've seen some horrible, horrible things in the comments. And I've seen some incredibly encouraging things in the comments. So assumption number one, Jeremy dismissed all of his claims and the trial because he thought he'd lose. All right, well, let's dig into that assumption. I want you to understand clearly, I never, ever thought I would lose at the September 13th jury trial. Michelle, thank you for the $5. Yes, exactly. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. We're going to get into that. And remember, love Love covers a multitude of sins, a multitude of sins. So assumption number one by some of the viewers is Jeremy thought he would lose. I never, ever thought I would lose at the jury trial. It's so cut and dry. The evidence is all there. It's crystal clear. I do not believe I would lose at a jury trial at all, which jumps into assumption number two that I've seen. Assumption number two is Jeremy's lawyer thought he would lose and told him that he should drop his charges. So let me clarify that one as well. At no time did my lawyer ever think that I would lose in a jury trial. That's why we fought for the jury trial the entire time. As a matter of fact, my lawyer thinks 100%, just like I do, I would win. It is so cut and dry. The evidence is all there. It is so cut and dry. There's no way that a jury would ever make a decision against me in a jury trial. So assumption number one, I thought I would lose. Absolutely not. I thought I would win. Assumption number two, my lawyer thought I would lose. Absolutely not. Lawyer thought I would win. Assumption number three, Jeremy negotiated a deal outside of court. I want to be very, very clear. I have not talked to Marilyn. I have not talked to her family, although her family has been talking to you. Her granddaughter's still messaging some of you guys. I have not talked to my lawyer to talk to her lawyer in regards to any of this. There was no deal placed on the table by me. There was no deal placed on the table by Marilyn. There was no deal whatsoever. There was no deal negotiated after court. There was no deal negotiated in court. There was no deal. Nothing. So very clearly, there was no deal. Now, this is an assumption that just blows my mind that I keep seeing. Thank you, Judy, for the $4.99. Assumption number four, this entire 2+ year battle with Marilyn was all scripted and staged for YouTube. Blows my mind how somebody can be so foolish to even think those things. Thank you, Autumn, for the $10 and Rusty for the $5. So basically, in a nutshell, what they're trying to say is, what I paid Marilyn to lock me out, to damage my business model, I paid the Wooster police, which you can't do. I paid the Wooster police to come over and threaten my employees and myself. I paid somebody to steal a trailer and steal all of my high dollar items. I mean, just wrap your mind around this. People that are saying this was all scripted, it was all staged. If this was a production for Hollywood, what would my expenses be? $1 million+ so far? Leasing a space, paying all the actors, paying the Wooster. I mean, we're in a courtroom. We're in a courtroom, and people are saying this was all staged, it was all scripted, it was all fake for YouTube. Blows my mind. Let me tell you what my expenses are. You know what? We're not even going to get into the expenses. My expenses are huge. My loss of income is huge. And my lawyer fees are huge. So let's get those four assumptions out of the way. That I thought I would lose, never. My lawyer thought I would lose, never. That I negotiated a deal outside of court, never. And that it was all scripted and staged, never. It's all facts. It's all real. If you go on Wayne County auditor site, you can see all of the information. It is in court. It's 100% real. And many of you have already gone and gotten all that information. So let me dig into some realities, because I think the biggest thing is, Jeremy, why did you make this decision? Why did you make this decision? And so many have said, hey, we've been along for the ride for the entire 2 years. We're so disappointed that you actually made this decision. Thomas Mine, thank you for the $5. Let me hit you with some realities, because this I did not share with you in the videos, okay? Reality number one. We're past the assumptions. Let's get into the realities. Reality number one. There are more important things in life to fight for. I mean, it's that simple. It really is that simple. There are more important things to fight for than fight an old lady who locked me out of a building. There's just more important things in life. Let me give you an example, because you guys were along the ride for some of this. Do you remember when George's Baba, when Baba George, Mr. George, her dad George, fell from a ladder and then immediately was in the hospital? Now, I can tell you that in that moment, we were at the warehouse, and George got the phone call from her son, And George looked at me and she said, my dad, he fell, he's in the hospital. And immediately I said, all right, I'm driving. Nothing else mattered. We were in the middle of recording a YouTube video. YouTube videos don't matter when people matter, right? That nothing else mattered. I had employees there at the warehouse. I was videoing a YouTube video. George and I were going back and forth. And the only thing that mattered in that moment right then and there was getting George to her dad and making sure her dad was okay. That's it. That was the important thing to fight for. By the way, that whole fight with Marilyn was going on too during that time. And if Marilyn would have showed up, what would have been the more important thing? Getting to take care of her dad, seeing her dad, making sure family was cared for. There are more important things to fight for than Marilyn. And you've seen it with George's dad because you walked through that process and you've been praying for him, and we appreciate it. Continue to pray for him. Her dad's health, what was going on with her dad, everything was up in the air. That was the most important thing. Who cares about Marilyn when her dad is injured and fell and we don't know what's going on? Or you guys have been there through Georgia's cancer. The very first time she had cancer, we did not film or share very intimate details. The second time, she wanted to encourage people. She wanted to bring recognition to thyroid cancer. And at that moment, when we got the news that she had cancer and she had thyroid cancer, what was the most important thing? She was. She's the most important thing. It's her health. She has cancer. Again, our minds are blown. Nothing else mattered. Marilyn doesn't matter. Taking care of George and the issues that she has and her health is what mattered. The fight for George's life and longevity is what mattered. The fight with Marilyn, who cares? At that point, who cares? And so reality is there are more important things in life to fight for. Your family, your loved ones, your own health. These things are more important to fight for than a landlord who locked me out of a building. Now, that being said, I want you to understand reality number 2. There are life-altering moments that happen that are a higher priority. And this really ties into reality number 1. There are more important things to fight for in your life than Marilyn. And there are life-altering moments that are a higher priority. So if I've got court with Marilyn September 13th, but I have an issue with the love of my life and it goes from today to whenever, what do you think is going to have the higher priority? The love of my life is going to become the higher priority. So there are life-altering moments that are going to change your life forever. I'm sure you guys can even think of some. I can recall 9/11. 9/11. I was ripping out brushes at a house in Elyria, Ohio with my brother. And his client came out and said, you have to come in and look at the TV. You're not going to believe what happened. And we went into her house and we watched the planes go into the towers. And I remember looking at Dominic and going, our lives will never be the same. And our lives still are not the same. To this day, look what's going on in history. There are life-altering moments. When I met George, July 26th, 3 years ago, that was a huge life-altering moment that is a higher priority for me. Think of it this way. What if you just got a new job? You're excited. Thank you, Timothy, for the $4.99. You get a brand new job. You're excited because you wanted to change. You were worn out with the old job. And then all of a sudden, you're in this new job. And all of a sudden, you find out you're sick. As a matter of fact, you find out you have cancer again. What's the higher priority now? You were all excited about the new job, but now you found out you have cancer. What do you think is going to be the higher priority? The life-altering moment of the job? Nope. It's cancer. So there are life-altering moments that are higher priority for people. And you're going to have to grasp that as a viewer and a fan, even though you've been with us the entire path and the entire battle. There are moments that are going to be a higher priority in my life. And again, you see this much of my life. There's this much in reality. And so there are more important things in life to fight for. There are life-altering moments that are higher priority. Now, if some of these moments didn't happen, would I still be in court with Marilyn? I don't know. Honestly, I do know. I think the answer, because I've communicated it beforehand with my lawyer, is no. But there are things that are a higher priority in my life. And frankly, for the naysayers, there's got to be higher priority of things in your life than just watching this all unfold on YouTube, because this directly impacts my life. And I know you guys invest so much into our lives. This directly impacts my life. You're just watching as a viewer on the outside. So for you, I mean, this is the thing that boggles my mind. You know, people going, "Oh, it's so great that you must have enough money to..." You know what? I love it when viewers tell me how to spend my money, what to do with my time, what to do with my life, and they have no concept of it except what they get to see, and they see that much. Life-altering moments are always going to be a higher priority. And I've got to share with you very clearly, Marilyn is not a priority to me. At this time in my life, Marilyn is not a priority. Marilyn is a secondary thought. She means nothing. There are other people that mean everything. George means everything. Marilyn means nothing. Pure and simple. So reality number 3. There's this amazing thing that I found when I was 7 years old. It's this amazing word called grace. And I love it. And I'm sure you've heard amazing songs about it. I'm sure you know the words. But there's this incredible thing called grace. Jody, thank you for the $20. Grace is when we're given something that we don't deserve. Grace is when we stand before the judge and we're given something we don't deserve. And the reality is, could I have won? Yeah, I believe I would have. Does she deserve to go to court and be held accountable? Absolutely. But there's grace. And let me see if I can share this with you the best way possible. If God has forgiven me of everything I have done in my life, I mean, look at your own life. If God loves us so much that he would forgive us of everything we've done in our lives, if he's forgiven me of every stupid thing I've done in my life, and I'm sorry that I've done, that I don't want to do again, who am I to withhold forgiveness from anyone? Even if they don't seek it, if God displays and gifts that grace to me, who am I to hold that from other people? And so the goal, no matter where it is in the process of an argument or a fight or a disagreement, the goal is always reconciliation, to bring the parties back together. It's reconciliation. So there's this amazing thing called grace, and I love it. And it's a huge part of my life. It's a foundational part of my life. I absolutely would lose it without grace, right? I mean, let's face it. There's no hiding that I am a Christian, that I've placed my faith completely and totally in Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I think there's this whole misconception that Christians are supposed to be perfect. And that's not what it is. Christians actually come to God and go, I am not perfect. I am a mess and I need your help. And then God gives us grace. And so I'm so thankful for grace, and I'm thankful that we can actually give grace, show mercy to others as well. The guiding source of my life is my faith in Jesus Christ. And so at any point in my life where I can give forgiveness, where I can give grace and mercy and these things that we all need. I need them. You need them. We need these things in our lives. Then I'm going to give it. Now, I know a lot of you think, well, okay, Christians, I've heard bad things about Christians. They don't forgive very well. And that's true. You've got biblical shunning. And we have shared with you guys so often that you guys feel like family. You guys are family. There's biblical shunning. You've heard of it in Amish. My own family, and I don't think I've ever shared this before. My own family shuns because I'm divorced. My own family has shunned me because I'm divorced and holds that against me. I would never, ever want to do that to somebody. I would never, ever want to hurt somebody like that. God didn't create us for isolation. God created us for relationships. We need people. I need George. You need your George. Your George needs you. So there's grace. And I absolutely look for every opportunity that I can to share that grace. And frankly, that's why Restores the Love is such a huge deal to the channel, because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to share the love of God and share grace. So that's reality number 3. And it's probably the most powerful one, is grace. It is a driving force in my life. And it always has been since the age of 7. And it always will be. And I see somebody saying, preach it, Jeremy. I am not trying to preach. I'm just trying to answer your questions. So many of you got it. You're like, okay, I get it. He wants to show grace. He's a Christian man. But understand there's more important things in life to fight for. There's life-altering moments that are a higher priority, and then there's grace. Now, reality number 4 is this. If you don't believe in grace, and if you don't believe in God, I love that you're still here. I love you as you are. I accept you as you are. That's my belief system. You come to the channel, you get what you get. But if you want business, Jeremy, if you want Jeremy to talk about business aside from his personal faith, all right, reality number 4, it's just a good business decision. Reality number 4 is this. It's just a good business decision. So while I continue to pay a lawyer to take her to court, more expenses for employees, more stress on employees, more stress on George because she has to go on the stand, more stress, more money. When the jury decides that Marilyn owes me this much money, I will never see a penny. Because getting an actual judgment and then actually receiving that judgment is 2 different things in the legal system. So I can continue to spend more money to receive no money. And so reality number 4, it is a very good business decision, because regardless of what I would have won in court, I would have never seen a penny of it. The judgment would have been made by the jury, and then receiving it is a whole nother part of the process. If you don't believe me, why don't you ask Brian if he got any money yet from Marilyn? I think I can tell you without hesitation, he has not seen a penny from that agreement yet. So there's your realities of why the decision. The biggest underlying factor in that decision is grace. And then there are more important things in life to fight for. I'm fighting for the things that I love most, and that's not Marilyn. There's life-altering moments that are higher priority. That is taking care of George and not Marilyn. And it's just a good business decision. All right. All that being said, I know you guys had some other questions as well, okay? Other questions you guys have had in regards to the decision, which has stirred up so much with you guys. Number one, you guys want to know, did I receive everything from Pell Electric? So Robbie over at Pell Electric, I'm just going to tell you guys exactly how it is and how it went down. Employer over at Pell Electric, an employee over at Pell Electric. Thank you for the $20, Thomas, and thank you for the $20, the Stroop. The employee over at Pell Electric has quite some time trying to get some items that I owned over at the warehouse. And this individual is not what we would call a quality individual. This individual is pure and simple. He's an alcoholic. Now I got 20 alcoholic messages on my phone from him. And so when he went over to get these items, his intentions were not pure in the slightest. Once he found out that I had it all tied up in court, then he was like, I was just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. There was no help. It was all, again, this is my personal opinion. It was all selfish motives in receiving those items and taking those items. And that's my personal opinion. That's where I stand because I know the history of it and I know the character of this individual, and the character is extremely low. So I did work with the actual manager of Pell Electric, and I shared with Brett that he is the only one that I would work with. Thank you, Jane, for the $10. I would not work with Robbie whatsoever or another employee there. And so the manager took care of everything for me. Patience, Christian, and I, we went and we got back all the equipment that was stolen. And I use that word very, very purposefully. It was stolen equipment, and we have those items back. So yes, we have the items back that were stolen from Pell Electric. Number two, what about the items they trashed? In my decision not to move forward, the items they trashed, those items I'm letting go. Again, I go back to the realities. There's more important things to fight for. There's life-altering moments that are higher priority. And I don't know how to say it any more simple, guys, than George means everything. Doesn't matter how much money I lost. George means everything. Doesn't matter how much merchandise I lost. George means everything. The other stuff means nothing. So it's gone, and I'm walking away from it. Number three, what about the trailer? I have not found the trailer. And at this point, I'm not real sure I ever will find the trailer. The judge did not make her tell us where the trailer is. All we got is that she towed it. We didn't get where she towed it to, who towed it. We don't know if it got sold from that point, painted, scrapped. We don't know anything in regards to that. So the trailer, again, something I have to let go. There are higher priorities in my life. George or a trailer? George or a trailer? Think of your own life. What's more important, your George or your trailer? When it comes down to that and you put it into George or trailer, George or a trailer, I'm talking about your George at home. Whoever your George is, what's more important, your George or a trailer? Trailers mean nothing. Your best friend means everything. And so that's all gone. Trailer's gone. It's all gone. It's over in regards of the fight with Marilyn. That's in essence what I'm trying to share with you guys to try and give you some more clarity on those things. Robert, thanks for the $3. So in regards to the decision to not move forward, I tried to address some of your assumptions. I tried to share with you some of the realities of the decision and tried to get some of your follow-up questions as well. What do you guys, I'll tell you what, let's close on the George chorus, okay? So instead of What the Hales, you guys can sing with me the new chorus, all right? You guys ready? With your love so sweet, oh, I am incomplete without my best friend by my side. Just your smile alone makes me feel at home. Forever a love that we can't hide. Till death do us part, you will own my heart as I hold you close to me. Secure in my arms, safe from all harm, forever George and Jeremy. Secure in my arms, safe from all harms, forever George and Jeremy. Thank you for all your love. Thank you for all your support. And most importantly, thank you for all your prayers. Good night, everybody.